Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. So if I don't rip all this stuff to shreds. What are we doing today? Let me tell you. So I ripped out my box of tricks and we're talking about the little TC Electronics Plethora, the Strymon Iridium. But most of all, this one's going to be titled, What Has Anders Done to Me? It's I'm Alec, creator of the Midi Mad Scientist Club and the Strymon Iridium Owners Group and the mod of the Plethora X5 group. This is for one and all. This thing, right here, has two modes, let's say. One will be Macintosh mode. Macintosh now. One will be the iOS mode and one will be the Android mode. Don't confund this with the actual OSs. Think of the openness of the operating systems, because this thing is just insane. So if we're running in iOS mode, everything's cool and calm and clean and very nice. Everything works as you think it will. You've got boatloads of effects, and you've got these TonePrints which are stored online, and a TonePrint app, which is this thing, which connects via Bluetooth. And you can click on there and go through and surf around and pick up your nice things. Mary Spender has one. There's a whole bunch of ones. All kinds of neat artists and a great ecosystem. And you can flip around to your heart's content and it sounds divine. iOS mode. Then you get into the editing. We're going to call the editing mode the Android mode, where everything's open and you can faff about to your heart's content and you can create whatever you want. So you can connect up the old expression pedal. You've got this lovely little Bluetooth app and you can start firing slowly through. See that moving around? And on an expression pedal, you can assign up to 3 different tails and trails. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff and modify those trails. Now, what got me into this thing is Anders over in the Midi Mad Scientist Club, who came out with this Sonus volume pedal, volume with 2 U's or 2 O's. It's always 2 O or 2 U or whatever. They do a wah pedal, which is awesome. And they do a volume pedal, which is awesome. And that volume pedal has all these LFOs and blah. All of this language I'd never heard of before. LFO is a low frequency oscillator. So think of the percorso, as we say in Italian. That would be the trail, the line of breadcrumbs going off into the ether. A whole bunch of talk came up about a month ago about LFOs, these low frequency oscillators, and it's basically, think of tremolo. The low frequency oscillator just simply does that. At a slow speed, it goes and that's pretty cool. When 2.9 broke in the helix world, forget big helix fan here as well, you had this dynamic range switch shifter divider thing, and that was the first thing I tried. So this has been going on for about a month now. I've been hung up on these LFO things. And curves. Well, this is all about curves. Check that out. So you can program and change the curves to your heart's content. So as you're running through with your volumes, with your different things, any 3 effects you want, you can actually change the behavior when you're in the editor. So we're going to call that Android mode for the sake of argument, because, Android, you can do anything. iOS, everything's nice, but it's limited. You can't trade between. You know what I'm talking about? Try and make yourself a ringtone. Simple stuff. Gotta go through hell. It's safer. If you don't want to be safe, this. So This is basically the percorso, let's put it, that we've been following of late. And my reflection on that for all of the Midi mad scientists, all of these Strymon guys, this is now powered with a battery, and I can get sound through these lovely little purple earphones. What do you expect? Is with these two thingies here, I can have a completely battery-powered super mega rig and go off and get an hour free at lunch break or something like that. Just whip that out in my bag and start mucking about. This is just, what a time to be a guitarist, you know what I mean? So, where was it going with this? Here's the thing. All of these systems, and this is the big thing I push, you know, the MIDI in our MIDI group is really not the point. The point is the design. The design and implementation and fitting all these things together and how they work. And what this thing does, I've got it plugged in mono right now. And why I'm so jazzed about it is this mash stuff. And what that's done is it's taken a very simple thing. These pedals right here, when you push down on them, little light comes on the display. The harder you push, and you need force, each one of these is like a tiny little expression pedal. And you can change 3 different features on that. So imagine 15 expression pedals in something that big. Pretty amazing. So we've had all kinds of discussions today, this morning in the groups about new pedals, about the sonus volume, which is amazing, about curves, about adjusting and tweaking and fiddling with all this stuff. Public service announcement. If you really want to cure your, state of guitar acquisition syndrome and gear acquisition syndrome, this thing is just nuts. It really is. You can link anything to anything else. And go mad with this stuff. It really is insane. And the super beneficial thing of this is a lot of these ideas right here, if you're using an MC6 or something like that with expression pedals, you can take one signal from an expression pedal and send it off like a fork to 5 or 6 different controls. Same. So in a roundabout way, my advice to all the Midi mad scientists is this. The helix, which has massive MIDI control and super design, and you can actually really mess with it. If you've got your MC6 sitting around and you've only been using it to turn effects on and off, rethink. Because these effects where you can strike a chord, send a signal, and then at will modify it up to a point and then change those curves and do all those things, probably you can do that in helix as well. You can arrive there. But if you're really thinking, a new pedal or something like that, check this thing out. I was very dubious at first. First TC pedal ever. But holy crap. Thing is awesome. Complex as hell. I'm sorry this is not a demo, but I'll see you in September maybe when I could do that. There's a whole bunch of cool little demos from TC Electronic and some of the big guys, nice spiffy demos. Go check them out. They're on my YouTube channel as well. Like and subscribe. Let's get these numbers up. but from your old Uncle Al, Sunday morning. Dudes, this thing,